Hi everyone, I'm Professor Downey. You can call me Allison. I'm going to be your librarian for the psychology department. So anything psychology related, I'm your librarian for that. But you all might also see me in other classes such as core, education, social work, political science, and anything government information related. I do like to share a personal note about myself so that I can be seen as a human and not some scary person that you're afraid to reach out to. So my personal note is that I'm an avid fan of The Office. So for sure, during the time with me this semester, you will see Office references. So fans, buckle in, and if you hate The Office, I'm sorry, but I think you should give it another shot anyway. So it's likely that you all have vast experiences with libraries and using the library. So in your Psychology 110 class, it's our goal to embed short videos throughout the semester to get you acclimated to the library and how to use library resources, as well as information literacy that will help in your psychology course, as well as all your other courses here at Valpo. So, fingers crossed that none of you already have preconceived ideas of mean shushing librarians, because realistically, all the librarians here at VU and in the Christopher Center are here to help you. For the first week, we're just going to get you acclimated to the library webpage and as well as library and research jargon. It's stuff that you're going to hear throughout your time here at VU, not just from librarians, but from your professors. Words that get thrown around, and we're just going to go over it just to make sure that everyone's on the same page before we really take off learning about different aspects of research. So, thankfully, the library's website is very easy to remember. It's simply library.valpo.edu. You can see it up here in the search bar. And then when you start to take a look at the page as a whole, we usually have little notes down here. If there's something going on at the library, you can find information here. This is our search box, and this is most likely where you're going to come and plug something in. Summon is our tool. It's the closest thing to Google that the library has. It's called a discovery tool. It's going to search pretty much all the databases that the library has. It's going to search our catalog and as well as our library guides down here. So pretty much it's searching all the different fields that it can to try to find you what you're looking for, which sounds great, but it can be a little overwhelming. So we're going to get into how to use Summon later, but again, it's conveniently located right here on the front page. Right next to Summon, you'll see that we have our catalog. The catalog is what some people will refer to as the card catalog, and they're flashing back to where libraries had, hundreds of thousands of cards with individual titles of each book that the library had in it. Well, of course, now everything's digital. You might be familiar with using this at the public library. Everything that we have in print shows up in our library catalog, as well as some of our e-resources do show up in our catalog. But again, if you're looking in Summon, it's going to also appear there. Next, you're going to find the Journals tab. So a journal is a primary way that authors like to communicate scholarship with each other. So they write a particular thing that they know and they publish in journals. They write articles and they publish it in journals. So this gives you a way to search to see what journals that the library has access to. So if you know the name of a particular journal, you can find it here. In print, this is what a journal might look like. And then within the journal, all the different articles appear in here. But again, if you're looking on it online, it's going to look like a website instead of in print. So that's one way to search for the journals. The final tab you'll see here are databases. Databases and journals sometimes get confused for each other. Databases are actually the container that houses journals. Databases can have journals in them, it can have books in them, it can have newspapers, magazines, etc., etc. So it's not actually a journal, it's a thing that keeps the journals inside of it. And each database is a little bit different, and so you can browse by subject and see all different subjects have different databases. So let's go to psychology and see some of the best psychology databases. And you might see that there are different names, and each database has different materials inside of it. Librarians' jobs are actually to try to find databases with the least amount of the same materials in it, so that way we're not paying for the same things twice, so that way we're not having to charge you guys more tuition or anything like that. So psych articles might have these titles in it, whereas psych info might have these titles in it. And that's just an example. They don't necessarily have those particular titles, but they're essentially different piles with different information in them. So as you get more versed in your research, you might try multiple databases to see if you can find more information in the different databases. All right, I did my best to keep this short. I know it ran a little over 5 minutes, but this is the very last thing I'm going to show you today, I promise, is our subject and library guides. This is where we try to keep a lot of information together by subject so it's convenient for you as students. So we do have a psychology, they're alphabetical. Psychology resources. So if you're looking for articles, you can search here and it gives you the different databases. Again, the different piles of information you can search to find information that might be helpful. Has helpful web resources that you might want to take a look at. And then there's even classes. So for Psychology 110, these are things that might end up being helpful for you for your class in Psych 110. So, thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you again next week. All right, take care.